But right now we're very pleased to have a guest from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It's the Hancock Shaker Village. And in this area we do have the history of the Shakers. We're going to find out more about them and what the village is like from the Director of Communications and Marketing who's with us. And then she brought an artist with her, and we're going to be looking at some of that art. We'll be looking at woodworking with Jack Steffak. He's a master woodworker. And then we'll be seeing two of their dancers and singers. So that's how we're going to wrap up the show. So first, let's start out. Hi, how are you, Shawn?
Hi, Ann. Thank you so much for having us. We're
delighted
to be here.
It's such a pleasure because you're a mainstay in that area with your museum and village. Tell us, who are the Shakers?
Well, the Shakers were a utopian community of a religious community, and they put their hands to work and their hearts to God, creating a little bit of heaven right here on earth. And Hancock Shaker Village is a 750-acre history museum.
750 acres.
Used to be 4,000. Now we're only 750 acres.
Wow, that's a lot, yeah.
But devoted to preserving the legacy of the Shakers.
And you have like around. Now I took some photos off the web because I thought people should see what the place looks like and like this is an interior. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have 20 historic buildings. 18 of them are open now. The other 2 will open right after Memorial Day. We just opened last Saturday. We had our biggest opening weekend ever with
wonderful.
Almost 2,200 people.
You have animals too.
For baby animals, and that's really our big and wonderful event that we start the season with. And it's baby animals on the Shaker farm, and we welcome spring with all the newborn babies,
the lambs,
goats, piglets, and they're really adorable. It's a great family activity and great fun for everyone. But we couldn't do anything that we do at the village if it weren't for people like Susan.
Well, hi,
Jack.
Susan Merrill.
Hi,
she's an artist.
Yes.
And tell us, you've got some art with you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Aren't
they
little
wonderful?
Baby chicks and a baby lamb. They are not in this year's show because this year's show is up on the walls.
And are these for sale if someone wants to buy them?
Yes, they are. And a big hunk of the money that we make goes to Hancock Shaker Village and the programs that they sponsor.
And you mentioned programs. What kind of programs?
Oh, educational programs for children and for grown-ups, and people who need equipment, and people who need salaries, and whatever expenses there are to run a big nonprofit organization, plus the ones specific to Hancock Shaker Village. Yeah. So I'm very happy to support that.
Well, I can see that you've got some, and I went on the web and I saw all these pictures. I didn't realize they were all done by you.
Yeah, they were indeed. Yeah. I've done it for 7 years. Each year has a different theme. This year, it's all animals eating, which is their favorite activity.
I think so.
Yeah, well, farm animals.
For people, too.
Yes, I identified with that. But I grew up on a farm myself, and so I really know a lot about farm animals, and they're near and dear to my heart.
And it's great that kids who are home and they just see the cartoons or whatever they're watching, but to go up and see them personally now. A lot of times, you have to be a little careful because kids they just want to, to the animals.
Well, we have farm managers and lots of volunteers. In addition to Susan and the craftspeople like Jack and the Shaker singers and dancers like Stephanie and Margaret, who we're so indebted to and so grateful that they came with us today. We have a lot of volunteers, kids as young as 13 and 14 who work with Billy, our farm manager, and
wonderful.
Georgia, our gardener.
Isn't it great, though, you can get kids involved?
Oh, they love it. They love it. And it's a great way to get kids outdoors, to teach them about traditional farming, and not to be afraid of animals, but to understand them. And I think that children also understand animals better through Susan's paintings, which really have been a remarkable contribution to the village over the years.
I leave a sketchbook there for children to make pictures of their favorite painting, and it has been very educational for me to see how children see what they see in front of them. So it's educational in many different ways.
Well, it's creative for the kids because they probably never have been told, draw what you see there. I mean,
no, exactly. There was a picture last year of a horse turning away, And some of the pictures I was interested to see that they made were the standard pictures that a child might make of a horse. But there were a few where they looked very carefully and that horse was turning away. And that's how they found out that you don't need to make a person straight on like that, but you can make them like this.
Yeah,
like
the old, you know, the Whistler's mothers were, well, that was a side shot, but you know, the...
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
They always instinctively do it one way and they figure out a formula and that's it for the rest of their life, really.
Well, that's what makes an artist.
Yes.
Because they see life. They don't just see what they think they should see, but they see what life is.
It's always a good idea to turn out new artists.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is what I do.
Well, I'm going to let you sit here for a moment, and I'm just going to go run over and talk to Jack for a few minutes, but don't leave. And I'll be back, and we'll chat a little bit more because I want to learn more about what you're doing. And Jack Steffak is our master woodworker here. I think I'm hooked here somewhere.
Uh-oh, there you go.
Yeah, I am, because I can never leave. I'm here forever. Jack, hey, what do you got here? Are you mic'd? You're not mic'd.
I'm not mic'd here. I can take the
Well, why don't I give you the handheld mic?
Okay.
We kind of play it by ear here. Go ahead. Or by
Fantastic.
what? Now wait a second. You said you were going to bring me some eggs. Where are those eggs?
I tripped on the stairs here, but this is the egg container that they should have come in. I have something else for you instead of the egg.
There's no eggs in here. I can tell you
eggs.
that.
But it's a little container that we made because we do have chickens, and it's just a perfect size for fitting in here. It's all handmade, the same as we
Smells
do at the
good.
Shaker
I
Village.
love the smell of the wood, don't you?
I do too, yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Steffak, master woodmaker, wood carver.
What this has done is the same methods that we would have done 200 years ago with the
Do you
Shakers.
dowel? Is it dowels?
There's
or-
no dowels in it, but it's a
pegged.
it's a dovetail joint.
Okay.
And the dovetail joint is what holds it together, and then this is lapped over to hold that. But the dovetail
Because they
is
didn't use
really-
nails? Nails were expensive.
Nails were basically, they were handmade by a blacksmith, and they were very expensive.
And they used to, if they went to a dump or wherever people threw things, they looked for nails there, didn't they?
Pioneers, when they went farther out west, they would burn their homes down to take the nails,
nails.
with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
the nails were the expensive part. The wood was just there all
Yeah,
over the place.
exactly.
So anyway, in order to make something like this, I would take a rough cut piece of wood like this, cut to size. The way I would cut it is on my bench hooks.
Smells
here.
like cedar. Is this cedar?
No, this is
What
pine.
is it?
This
Pine.
Is Eastern
Okay.
white pine. And I would
Smells
cut it. I'm
good.
going to switch to the left-handed microphone.
Well, here, let me do
because-
this.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Let me do this. I can do that.
We can work teamwork. So I would hold this with the bench dog so I can cut with the saw to
Okay.
make it the size that I want, and I would plane it down with an old hand.
Oh
plane
my
like this.
gosh, I remember those old planes.
Yeah, they work great, and
I
some people-
used one, but it was a lot smaller than that.
Yeah, they would be all different sizes for different things. The interesting thing on adjusting a plane like this, to make the blade move very slightly, you just tap the back of it with a hammer, and the blade is going to stand still where the wood moves, and it goes up a little
Oh,
bit. So a great working tool, and
nice design.
this is designed. Yeah, it was kind of replaced in about 1888 when more modern planes like this one.
Yeah, the
came
little
about.
ones, right?
Yeah, and they could be all sizes, but this is adjusted and easier to adjust. Well, in some cases, I really like these. I use those as well. So anyway, we do that, and then to make the dovetails, I have a little jig that I use to, I set it on and make my marks to make the angles that I need to make the dovetail.
Now, this is the way they would have made things
is
like
the
that.
way they
Now,
would have made
we
it,
do
yes.
know that the Shakers have interesting chairs and tables and
Yes.
all wood.
Yeah.
And this is how they made them?
This is the way that they would have made them. They would have made, they have cabinets that are, the entire thing's put together with dovetails like this.
I'll be darned.
Not just the
Just held
drawers.
it. I bet it's a lot stronger than nails even.
It's phenomenally strong, yeah.
Yeah.
It is the strongest joint that you're going to be able to make.
Yeah,
with.
yeah. It makes sense.
We would do it, it'd end up like this, and then when we
And
put
you have
it
to be a
together-
craftsman to do this.
Yeah, it takes practice. It takes time. And this is what the box might, in progress. In this particular box, it's a 10-degree bevel. The dovetails are holding it together, and the dovetails have strength in one direction, but really not a lot in the other. This side, I could actually tap that out.
Tap it out, right.
Yeah. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put the handle in here
So
with
that it
another
holds it in
joint that
place.
holds it in place. There'll be a mortise and tenon joint here.
Yeah.
And that's how we make them. The
Now,
planing-
do you do the demonstrations there?
I
Is
do
that
demonstrations like that here. Yeah.
okay?
We will
And
be
do
at-
they? And I should ask Shawn. Do you sell these items there?
Some of our craftsmen make oval boxes, and other authentic shaker reproduction items, and we sell them in our store. We also have a cafe that's open every day for lunch and
nice.
snacks. But people like Jack are so popular with our visitors because he engages people in such a lovely way.
He's a talker, isn't he?
Really able to get across what was so ingenious and wonderful about the Shakers and their way of doing things, their wonderful sense of design and craftsmanship, and we're so indebted to him.
Yeah, I know Jack does a great job, and I've seen a lot of the work that he's done. He does some really interesting pieces. Maybe not the shaker style, but he does a lot of really wonderful pieces.
And this is the style box that I'm making now. It's finished.
It's adorable.
It's got the dovetail joints. This is cherry with the traditional oil and wax finish on it. It is not tendon through. It does have some pins through there to hold it together. But this is a sample of some of the boxes that you'll be able to get there, some of those that I made.
Be great
there.
for your desk, right?
This is actually for your desk or wherever you'd like it. I'd like to give this to
Oh
you.
my goodness.
So,
Well, I can use this on my desk, I can tell you. Probably this desk right here.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Jack.
you very much.
Good to see you. We're going to go right back here. Thank you so much. And we're going to talk to Shawn a little bit, and Shawn's going to tell us about the singers and dancers, maybe. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of move our chairs back and let them do a little bit, and then we'll continue to talk.
Well, every day in the brick dwelling, which is one of the largest buildings at the museum, 6-story brick dwelling that was a Shaker home for 200 years. They lived and ate there. There's the Believers Dining Room at one end, and at the other end is the meeting room. And we run a Shaker music and dance program every day at 1:30. And Margaret and Stephanie are two of our stellar volunteers who run the music program. And they give our visitors a sample of how the Shakers express their religious beliefs.
Okay, now I know that they've come in period dress.
They are not Shakers. No, we
This is not period dress that the
it
Shakers
is period
would.
dress.
Okay.
The Shakers would have worn costumes or clothing like this. We keep it alive because we interpret a certain date in history at the museum. It's about 1830 is the date at the height of the community when we had about 400 people living, 400 Shakers living in what they called the City of Peace, what we now refer to as Hancock Shaker Village. An agrarian, agricultural community, dairy. It's worth visiting the village just to see the Roundstone Barn, which really is a marvel.
The picture is on the website.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
It's just an amazing
Beautiful,
building, one of
beautiful.
the great buildings in America, and everyone should see it in their lifetime and tour it. But in the brick dwelling, getting back to Shaker practices and beliefs, we have lovely volunteers who perform some traditional Shaker music, show some dance steps, and Margaret and Stephanie can probably speak
let's
better
see
about
what
this
let's see what they can do. We have a few minutes here. Okay. Do you have enough room here? Yep. Okay, it's yours. We'll move back a little bit. Give you room.
So these are really imitation costumes. Let's just go right into Come Life, shall we? This is all the Shakers are
Microphones.
made,
We
by
don't.
the way.
Well, wait. No. We don't have a omnidirectional. Yeah, right there. The omnidirectional is up.
Okay. All the Shakers are in Maine, and we'd like to show you one of the ways that they brought their spirit to life by dance. And this particular one talks about dancing and shows a biblical precedent for it. It would have been done in lines, one line men, one line women. We're just going to pretend we're in lines doing it. Come life, Shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal. Come life, Shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice how he behaved. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice how he behaved. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael how he behaved. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice how he behaved. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that's carnal. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that's carnal. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice how he behaved. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice how he behaved.
Oh my goodness, that's wonderful.
I'll tell you.
That's wonderful.
That number actually could have
You
been
can
done-
come back here maybe a little bit.
could have been done for 20 minutes or even longer. As you could have seen, we were out of breath doing it just 3 times.
Yeah.
But the shaker services were very lengthy, and
Well, it's really interesting. I guess I get the feeling now of why they're called shakers.
Yes,
Because they really
exactly.
did do the shaking.
It was considered a pejorative term initially. The real name of the community is the United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing. Kind of hard to say.
Yeah. Shortened it to shakers.
They shortened it to shakers because they shook and whirled and did the dances and.
So that's like the Quakers who were also
well,
quaking.
exactly. They
yeah.
were shaking Quakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movers and
exactly.
shakers. Yeah, right. But that's, so how can people see this? Where are you located and when are you open?
We're on the outskirts of Pittsfield, right on Route 20, at the intersection of Route 20 and 41. As I said, on the far western edge of Pittsfield. So it's an easy drive from Albany, Schenectady, from the
Very
capital
easy, yeah.
district.
And a really great day trip to go
Oh,
out there
it's
and enjoy
perfect.
Pittsfield, enjoy the
Absolutely.
Shaker Museum.
Yeah, it's
And
just a
there's
beautiful, beautiful spot.
Beautiful area.
Now on May 2nd, Susan's going to be doing a children's story hour at 11 a.m. and we want every family to know about that. Bring your children to that.
And say
Her
again the
exhibit is
date.
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
Saturday, 11 a.m. And her exhibit of paintings is up in the Poultry House Gallery. It used to be the chicken house at the village. It's now a beautiful art gallery. And you can see more of her work there.
Good.